Had elevation to Test match status come too soon? Could a nation that had managed only a single one-day victory against a Test nation in 34 attempts over 15 years be expected to survive a 5-day examination? These were the questions that needed answering as Bangladesh got ready for its Test match bow. Somehow it seemed the two previous initiates to Test cricket, Zimbabwe in '92 and Sri Lanka in '82, had been better prepared. Indeed, both had acquitted themselves respectively in their first Test. But where experience and ability might be lacking, no one could question the local enthusiasm and support surrounding Bangladesh's step up. Nor was the home stadium, the Bangabandhu, short on tradition or atmosphere. It had already played host to 36 one-day internationals and 8 tests dating back to 1954, when Pakistan played home tests there. The choice of first opponents for a one-off test was also a good one. The Indian team was full of players hero-worshipped in Bangladesh, and yet they had had as poor a record on the road as any of the other test nations. They'd not won an overseas test for 7 years. The first 2 days exceeded all of Bangladesh's expectations. Having won the toss, they went out to bat in front of 40,000 delirious supporters. A swashbuckling innings of 71 from 112 balls from Habibul Bashar took the new boys past the 100 mark for the loss of only 2 wickets.
Oh, and that's hit down the ground for 4. That's a very positive shot. He used his feet there, decided to smash it. Boy, the girls are out of their seats. Oh, and that one's gone through the gap and down to the fence for 4. Just a little bit lucky, but it brings up his half-century. So Habibul, in this inaugural Test match, has done what he no doubt has dreamt about.
That's a fine shot. That's found the boundary too.
His unfettered approach had the crowd on their feet, but newcomer Zahir Khan stopped him in his tracks.
This is going to be out. Yes, he's got him. That's it. Habibul out, caught at mid-on.
Meanwhile, former captain Amimul Islam was accumulating in more sedate fashion, adapting his style to the new format more readily than Habibul. By the end of day 1, Bangladesh had reached the very respectable 239 for 6, and Amimul was unbeaten on 70. The next day, he became only the 3rd player in history to score a century in his country's inaugural Test. His innings lasted almost 9 hours and contained 17 boundaries.
It's gone high, but it's gone safely.
Oh, and he's got it away. That's it. That's his century. This is a wonderful occasion. Off goes his helmet. A kiss there on the badge of Bangladesh. A few words of thanks.
India's attack was missing the injured Anil Kumble, but the selected bowlers failed to capitalise on the home side's obvious nerves. Sunil Joshi bore the brunt of the workload and was rewarded with his first 5-wicket haul in tests. Still, Amimul's sterling effort of 145 and some useful tail-end runs saw Bangladesh to 400, a phenomenal performance. India's top order were expected to pulverise the home attack, but it didn't happen. The 2 best batsmen, Dravid and Tendulkar, were both caught before they had reached 30, and the spin combination of captain Namur Rahman and Mohammad Rafiq put Bangladesh in a strong position at 236 for 6.
That's up in the air, they all go up and the finger goes up. That is a big wicket. Namur Rahman has struck here. That's a lovely piece of bowling again. It's accounted for Sabah Karim.
By the end of day 3, however, India had reasserted themselves at 366 for 7, thanks to new captain Sourav Ganguly, who made 84, and Joshi, who made 71 not out. The home cause wasn't helped by some indifferent fielding and some overzealous appealing. Fortunately, the ICC had appointed the 2 most experienced umpires for the match, Steve Buckner and David Shepherd. Joshi went on to make 92, another test best for the all-rounder, and India sneaked ahead by 29 runs. Having held their own for almost 3.5 days, Bangladesh suddenly crumbled. What was most disappointing, although not entirely surprising, was the lack of application in the batting. India, led by Srinath and Joshi, who took 3 wickets each, simply ran through them. Only Habibul with 30 and keeper Khalid Masood with 21 not out reached double figures.
Sourav Ganguly has come up with a catch. They're wrapped on the pads. The finger went up.
And And he's got him. Caught at bat pad. And having trailed by 29 on the first innings, Bangladesh have been dismissed for 91.
The disintegration was complete, and India knocked off the 64 runs they needed for the loss of 1 wicket. Dravid, with a quick-fire 41, saw them home that evening.
Six. That's a good shot from SS Das, and he has produced the winning hit.
The second innings performance was what many in the cricket world had expected from the start, yet Bangladesh had stayed in contention for long enough to take much cheer from a daunting debut. Though many supporters will hope that next April's 2-test series against Zimbabwe provides further encouragement.